Hi guys, I'm Ant from Autosportivo and welcome to our very first full-length episode on our YouTube channel. I'm going to talk to you about my collection. No, it's not this one, not today, but keep posted because that's going to come out in a future episode. The one we're going to talk about today is outside and it means a lot to me and Autosportivo wouldn't be here without that car. So I'm going to talk to you about that, and I know you guys out there love this car too. Autosportivo, we do things from servicing, repair work, but my favourite is restoration work, and that's what we're properly known for. We've started to do remapping and specialising in abarths. So if anyone's got an Italian car out there and wants to bring it to a specialised Italian garage, then we're your guys. There'll be a link to our website in the description below, so check it out. You can also follow us on Instagram and keep an eye on our latest restoration project for 2022. So if you haven't already guessed it, this is it, my Mark 1 Fiat Uno Turbo. So as you can see here, just a 1.3 inline-4 turbocharged engine, IHI turbo, which created a massive punch when the turbo kicked in. When it kicked in, it would scare the living daylights out of you because they only weigh about 850 kilos, maybe less. But if you haven't driven one, make sure it's on your bucket list to drive one of these. Speaking of which, let's jump in, let's get it out on the road now. So here we are in the Uno Turbo. I don't know if you can see from the camera, but it's a bit bumpy. Feels like a go-kart, if I'm honest with you. How people use these as dailies back then, I don't know, because it's not the comfortablest of cars, and it doesn't give you much confidence when you go around the corners. The car just wants to go straight. But you can forgive it, because the minute that turbo comes on song, bloody hell, it's just so much fun. You really need to jump in one of these and try it. Compared to the other cars in my collection, I think this is more like fun, go-karty. You can enjoy it because it makes you sit on the edge of your seat. Whereas the Integrale, it just sticks and glues to the road and you've got more confidence in that car than this. This is pure, scare the shit out of me, go for a drive. It's not the comfortablest cars. It's really rattly, tinny, but you can forgive it all because when you get behind the wheel, it really does put a smile on your face. Like you can't feel that, but it's fun. Dangerously fun. This one's a bit more powerful than a standard Mark 1. I've tuned it a little bit. It's got a gas flowed head and I've done bits to it. But on paper, the Mark 1 only produced 105 brake horsepower. and it just feels so much more than what it says on paper. And I think that's just because of how light the car is. And don't forget, you've got no ABS, no traction control, you've got no driver aids in this thing. It's just you and the car, and that is it. I'd say this one is running about 115, 120 brake horsepower. We've changed the suspension on this, so it's a little bit harder. So it handles a bit better than standard. One little funny thing on this is we've got a dump valve, a Bailey's dump valve. Not to everybody's cup of tea, but it just brings me smiles. But I don't know if you can hear that. Listen. But it just pulls, it really just pulls. In straight lines, this thing pulls. And it will still keep up with some of the cars today, no problem. Especially if they're tuned even more. Because they just weigh next to nothing. One thing I do love about this car is the interior. Like, you can't see it from where you are, but we'll put some shots in later on. The dash, the dials, the little red needles, like when that turbo needle boosts, and it's just so 80s, it's amazing. You don't get cars like this no more, and you won't. This will be the last of the era. You got red seat belts, red carpet, even the stitching on the seats and say turbo. It just feels special. And when you look at it, you think, wow, even the steering wheel, Uno Turbo IE. I don't feel like they did a great job with the Mark II Uno Turbo. To me, it was a bit bland. They could have made that car more special, but they didn't. It's a bit faster, 1.4, but it wasn't as special. And it's a bit more refined than the Mark I. Mark I, to me, and I know other owners out there would agree with me on this, Mark I, far more special to have than the Mark II. Doesn't mean I don't like the Mark II, but Mark I, it's the one. So, the reason why this car is so sentimental to myself, it was the making of this place. When I first started restoring it, times were hard. Didn't have £5 for petrol to put in my car 9 years ago, and this was just a bare shell. And something inside of me kept saying, no, you've got to keep going, don't give up on the car. Didn't give up, kept working towards it, kept rebuilding it. And when I finally finished the restoration build, Modern Classics magazine, I picked one up off the shelf from W.H. Smith's, and at the back it's got what your readers drive. So I thought, I'm going to email them in, say I drive an Uno Turbo. Sent the Uno Turbo in, and I got an email back from the editor, director of the magazine, saying, can you give us your mobile number, we want to give you a call. And I got a phone call back from Nathan Chadwick, and had a lovely chat with him. It's like nearly an hour long, and he said this car deserves a full-blown 4-page feature. And I was like, wow, that's like, wow, you know, stuff like that doesn't happen to me. And the minute this car got featured in that magazine, it just opened doors to everything that I've achieved today in life. All the other magazine features, and the pinnacle, the very top one, which only happened last week, funny enough, was Auto Italia Magazine got in touch, and it's just been featured in Auto Italia Magazine. So basically this is why this car is so sentimental to me. It was the beginning of Autosportivo, and it's what's created all my opportunities in life. So what I'm trying to say is, when times are really, really hard, just keep at it, don't give up on your dreams, you just keep going forward, and if you believe in something, you've got that passion, it'll always work out in the end. So yeah, everybody, it's the famous magazine featured Mark I Uno Turbo, Autosportivo Uno Turbo, and it always will be. So that sums it up for today. I hope you enjoyed this small little YouTube video, our first of many. Don't forget to click the like button and hit subscribe. And don't forget to leave us a comment, and if there's anything you want to see in the future, just mention it below.